the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Kasa baako a aban biaba otai eka ediche Ghana for eye kasa efa keta hyehyɛ proye ena kankan ho bro kasa me say bribery and corruption. Now aban biaba wasi obetu keta hyehyɛ ase, aban biaba wasi obetu proye ase. Now interestingly, aban bia no a onya tumi bia no accuse the previous administration of enormous bribery and corruption. But enika se me won say sa aban no emfa ne dwumadie nyina nkwa wieye no na ensem ni nyina no akwa kugu. Now the multi-million-dollar question Ghana for do na busa ne say who will actually stand the test of time with issues of bribery and corruption in the particular government. Aban ba ye hu se we initiate cases bebrebe no against the previous administration with regards to cases that involve ketasheshe any project. Yehunu the issue of Yera Ameya Kumfi, Professor Ameya Kumfi, and Sky Train. Yehunu the issue of Kwabena Edubuahin, any national security Nsem-Pii. Yehunu the issue of NSS National Service Nsem-Pii. Yehunu Nansiya Buffer Stock CEO Nsem-Pii. Duduana no the Attorney General Babontin beka ho asem but asem no kopi mo court ayehunu de eko eno ena Daniel Yaw Dumelovo former auditor general edin komo wait yenua no Insha FM presenter Nana Jantuah Daniel Yaw Dumelovo say wanya personal interaction with Ghana man panyini His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Na Ghana man penyin aka ku ehun nsem with regards to bribery and corruption. Ana for do na adwen ayomo na kakra se ku de e dey be pie bribery and corruption hun nsem kai. In fact, people have been left shocked with that statement made by Daniel Yaw Dumelovo looking at the fact to say committee ayatia aban yi taxi wo mo e wo ketase hun nsem e from ora operation recover all lutu no ka ho bi. Edien and the Ghana man paying are bringing up the scenario of coup d'etat. Not even what got to the extent of making an example with Burkina Faso military leader. Nina this year the live interview between Daniel Yaw Dumelovo and Afei Yenya Nana Jantuah.
Finally, Yera Mahama or your concern say sa corruption yi KCC konanse na meridi bibi kakra free Burkina Faso soja aban baaye no nyoma bi wo ho a watimi agege aboa oman no omu minerals ne nyoma bebre oya aware with the data that suggests say Ghana youth no dodo na be prefer say we be 10 mu be 3B 4B kase the enyome kono yinya soja ban ba ebe boa. Is that a concern to President John Dramani Mahama? I say or no de by say Mahama is the hope. Say ye betimi enya a certain John Mahama on me yet say na no de na oye no. Nemum obefri so by 2028 no. Ni enya John Mahama na breso corruption esote ye ema sika die ni sika wia no esote ya na.
Minia we de omampanyin onfan cheme menini edi nkomo bi na meka but menini permission say meka but onfan cheme misre na menini di nkomo bi encheye ina medi tu na anim se ohwe ekwan a Ghana for efa so agigi Burkina Bay president emra oba na swearing in no ohwe ekwan Ghanaians react as against all other democratic leaders omuba empu yanti omunka enye se born ebo mudi anke nim se omuba empu a nje se Ghanaians are looking for leadership, not democracy. Nti onwe yi na wama democracy, what means leadership? Ena mesan so reminding no say minister for I think environment of the one who told Nana Addo Dankwa in parliament say you have taught us how not to govern. Mikaransi Kachin say yes. Nanado, and I have no doubt with that. Say Nanado Dankwa Kufuado has shown us how not to govern. But it is for him, His Excellency John Mahama, to show us how to govern. And yes, idea. Now we're here. When him and you are not the mommy. Okachi say on the one you him says Ofeli Ghana for Enchebia Kubesi.
Wow.
Enche on one kind. If you know the Bible, say Enchebia Ghana for because Otumunse Ghana for Niji a Bugabu Ghana as a military approach. Normal a content them as for Ghana for Niji. And this Odi Ghana for Yamwa Enchebia Kubesi. Nani Oka Kawa Elman say, or see. Sesaku Nusia, Womo a former presidency na Yabachi Omina foreign squad. As you two Makumako.
Wow.
On one account, Osandi to us say, Rollins any atamas the Omuti Omo into Omo the Oma for Muwe.
There's a car or no Kufuani Nana Kufado.
Also, Mutias any day. Onini se Oma for Muwedi. Inti Mijini se Onimpa say. Se ofeli omanya nsunsuanso a beba oman no enye papa nti me didi se obeye
mate
on say we are politician kwande a wo bone no obetimi akuni pampo wa ohwa se ukaya ebinu ba wu na no kora na de amanyosem se kono sade a enye ye menua
John Mahama obetimi to corruption ase.
Very easy kura obetimi atu. Na akwantu a na njisha ode tu kwemu no. Eye pa ebetimi abrek corruption ase. But wo menhwehwe mu no. Akakra. Akade bi wo hono ma enim. Na se yemfasa akade na nka ho a. Minyini se obetimi aye amana ye if say corruption no enya de obetimi dis etuo ni sikan akọ fight no wo de mra na fight no nti menhihie wo madwem no ye won hihie ba ko mienu bi a ese de tukwam one the proof reverse burden or what we call unexplained wealth and hihie bi wo emremu a se ekoba se me marketia 20,000 bosome mincha se afimuni na marketia be 240,000 na ma ejuma 1 year ye behwe na me wo 20 million edam account mu a et me as me chire mu kwa me fa so nya sa 20 million no na se mantimi anchire mu dia enti se mabokro no that is the reverse burden. I, the accused, must prove how I got that wealth. Some run any Ghana. Kakrebi no Ghana. Minga say any Ghana kra. But kitu abi o. So here Article 286 clause 4. As it say, if you declare your assets and your subsequent declaration, the increase in wealth is not in tandem with your income or gifts or any other known sources of income, then you have acquired that assets contrary to the constitution. That is the unexplainable wealth. And I was called Money Laundering Act, Section 1, Subsection 3 in Suswa. As is occupy what do you call it? YOCO, that is Economic and Organized Crime Office. Investigate you on money laundering. Na se wo japade bia ye de tu ketua na se fo ho a enko a nje se you are guilty of money laundering. And no na me say as say ye biemu, we have to expand it to all corruption related cases because corruption wo hui obi ani ho a omu wia abansika e wo bedwam and ti se obi akwakoku nipa anaso abo krono ne achi no okejetia na we de eye mpanyufo akukudam o madwu do pa e na ebo ye krono nti se obenya om edne nti se wo ketua 10 cedis na 10,000 na afimu total income 120 na mumu 10 million at our accounts mu a enough to tell us we are kromfo agi say uchire yen say bia udi loto ana say o papa bi ana say wo abushe ni bi wi na ode japade jaw na eno de ye ti ase nti sa law no eni Ghana sesia nti say ye court na say police ni ana say prosecutor ena be prove say Daniel 10 million na dan account mu owia ya edimpa nti enye easy eno ye 1 2 what when say obi bokro no anase owia amoman sika krono america na corruption o memfra corruption theft nti obi ewia aban sika na ye de ne kogina court a unim say asem ye ni mani enwie ntem
yeah
ebi a fie bebre ebi a 4 years 7 years ne ye da so ya nti akromfo no oni omo lawyer for ehisha anaso adwea ya na ewo mo etrimu ni se won betwi asen mu tan won betwi ni saa kosi se aban besisa wuti ya na nsen yan enche bia na eti se nolly prosecutor aban se onye interested in some cases anymore nti eno so mesre se esese ye mra edi time eto hu se ye try corruption case a ebia afi abruswa afi anase abruswa 9 months ukai nansenya former agric minister ewo China oje bribe any corrupt practices totaling about $38 million,
right,
almost sentencing to death. Now that trial now ended up in death. No, it was done in only 3 months. Busum yansa se China for en busum yansa na ye de ya bon ye ntimi nya ne ntem kura en de ma hu busum nsian ana se busum nkrompo ana afi but Ghana ye be di akire sa afi I friend say so aban sisan nje se asem so asisan na akwako si na wiye.
That's interesting.
Afenso so se wo pese wo clean friend say wo pepa ensuo every day mu a wo mmue tap ensi so na wo nkoso empepa wo close tap no first me boa. So if you want to wipe the room, you don't keep the tap on. You must close the tap. One of the institutions I bet me are boying power or memo internal auditors. Because one more year professionals to say external auditors, but one more year 24/7 they are in the MDs and I say
yeah.
And sana ubetwesika no womu nti ye womu independent of the spending officers nka ebeboa minim se womu bi nso se bia na womu nye correct there but ninyi ni se womu na nye correct nti ka eno nso beboa yen ama ye hu se se si ade internal auditors wo se ebi be kan say auditor general they are making ono oba at the end of the year satam na esidi dada
but I know
again. Yeah.
Senior, and another person buza say, for example, the alleged corruption na ye kan wan say me for national service there Abdul Hanan buffer stock ne ada you know. Obeti so no transfer sika free hand free bank ne ko ha and the question is enti ade ntimi emfa auditors no internal auditors no enka ho because minim say aban adwuma answer na abenya 1000 Ghana cedis impo no bra be bra twa fa ho boa ansa na wonsa aka na no na me ne doctor bi di nkomo kwa me nkruma suapo mu no say or per laptop no kura in 20,000 kona bra ne hwan ne wo so sign ko a enso so bet no ne say kwa brani timi $78 million wetimi a transfer free bank ako na accounts mu ana obi adi 600 million Ghana cedis na yenhu. The question is yachi de oye panyino na auditor ne wo mo sign no eno ne mra na kase yen fo mu nkan wana
wo mi na kan na ena me kan mi di kan ne say Ghana ko say yeah fight against corruption politically led entinia yehwe ne na Jantuah ntisi yensaka no kwa de a aka ho nyina omanfa mu ho adi internal auditors, the directors, the storekeepers, the bankers. Asa Nana Jantuah uko bank sisi yasa uko 200,000 Ghana cedis a. Minim say ube answer questions pa.
It is be kra na me buafu.
So one more there etomo pastor utie investigation na scan to mo na ko etomo na ko. Because say obi e wo bank ho a no so kan we say ekokodoa no. Na internal auditor ye fano, director or approve ye fano, opinion ye request ye fano, procurement officer or share high Emma Ecoso ye fano. Yes, so many number more. And as the four can say, Ja, and yaw about one, ye just me boy.
You two are say,
ye two, as ye trust ye, ye two, as I say, dear man, your sementino, ye chasso. Near Basset boy, as a both my because ye chasso.
Then in that case, in that case, now say Yerajo Mahama so you can say crow the John na. If you say I'm expecting say Attorney General, ebetimi who say National Service case and ye give to a warring kwane or CSB. Auditors internal bankers one why munyina yedimudiaba. That is what we are expecting. But I say yeah, ben I give to a worry, but give to a worry say I'm pa obine Simano. But you share that name no free Attorney General and numu say ye domunyina account other than they are okay politically exposed people yeah you can want na
no cry I say crime no you need that only the politically exposed person so or a minister now minister and so could just a minister in the previous regime or in opposition or a government official in opposition or previous regime onon kwan aban esika no ekwan ya bie ni ho a nika bibi of protocol mesa etiso me say without the collaboration of the public servant the politician cannot take much from the public funds. If the public servant does not collaborate because me nyini say aban account to be a horma minister nkwan signature na that's all because etiamra nti the minister mpo esan I just say obi so sign
yeah
and I check no kura and na minister few and na ne botum e wo accountant office there say for check no bra chro check bra na ye pese ye koyi sika say na unim say sika no emfa kwa mu a adenti na wo de ko he ansana ye nru ho so no na friend say mpanyimfo a wo adwuma mu obi a certify unim payment voucher
PV
ata payment voucher no so a signatures egusu nyagoro be say 15 20 we approve now we are recommend now we approve akronfo nko ndi ye pese ye tuasia ese ye hwehwe mu nyina echi wo mu bomu edi onko gina asendibia no na beba manfo aye ahweyi
finally na menim se wo ko menim se Rajo Mahama ema in any case mo amutie madaroma ye ne Yera Daniel Yao Dumelovo ono a former auditor general and member of oral committee and the NHM former auditor general Yera Daniel Dumelovo on the extensively on corruption, education and other stuff Yeguswa and NHM so far me ati say corruption fight as I grow ni di you bet me ayi current one now amaya boss wa me hu ni say ye kase panyi bi adisika obi ne sign man no ntinke ya chi ani achi omu nyina bom ba bo wanze achi esorofo ne ketwa bi na de onu wia no de bi obegusu awia na obo amankofo e na o che se omo wo ho eye internal auditors accountant na se for ese omu wia na omu so pe bi adidie omu so be force but senior finally mpese mbusa ebia Rajo Mahama na se ono nso wasachira say o say corruption no ono no de no eso bete anaso obetu ase ba ye won krofo bi omo nso bre ye yi sika de ye campaign ene enyina anim se political financing no obi a woni interest se mi nkoyi sika 10 billion emma wo meye prr na wo ma mi position wi a ba be ka tem se mintimi nya akwanya enya sika na no ye can say Elvis Anka every or can you say the reality is that omo sponsor ye no omo we interest into the nipa no me di misika amount 70 billion one na say for aba now be catch them say eja na pa kire say jo Mahama e de ya wo de be hew eja wo kofie kra be hew na yen ya bre no e wo se enyi esika wo enti yera jo Mahama person solve corruption ne nkrofo atwa no ho asie yi omo nso wo sa attitude na yera jo Mahama enya idie e be fa
asem no odi abayi o asem pa no wa ko because yen corruption ne far by na ya political financing because wutie ya almost ansana obetima be MP no sika ube hia e dey campaign agro na president de ebro adwene entiase so na obi de sa $20 million ana say 100 million Ghana cedis ema na say uba ba mu a obetumi ahwe ne sa anu ye no eye 2 metumi aka say an e na da bi na mechechire mu say sa democracy is not limited to Ghana and it's not limited to only Africa. Party financing is a worldwide problem. It's not only in Ghana and it's not only in Africa. The challenge is that how we address our financiers is the problem. How we address our financiers. If you go to the US and you go to the UK, etc., I can authoritatively say that they also do party financing. But how do they repay their financiers? The same public procurement process here. So they can award you a contract to say, do dollars Accra to Tamale. So when you profit 1% there, so 1% is more than enough to cover how much you spend on the party. And our approach in Ghana, no any problem. It is if you actually provide the service and you make profit out of it, that profit or the margin